Welcome to the channel. My name is Eve. So happy to have you here. I'm always happy, to bring content to you as I inspire you to create a life you love. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Click on the button below, leave a comment and like as well, and help me grow the channel. Today we are going to speak about gender-based violence. And gender-based violence can take many forms, such as physical abuse, emotional abuse, and verbal abuse. Today we are going to speak about physical abuse. So the first question is, how does physical abuse manifest itself? So for example, someone could actually just straight up hit you, like slap you or hit you with a fist. Someone could throw something at you, like throw a pillow at you with the aim of scaring you or hitting you with it. Someone could kick an object around, say, the room to also further scare you or hit you with it. Someone could also just poke you. You're in the middle of a heated argument and they just do this or they kind of do that. So that would also be physical abuse. Now, the thing I must let you know is, when physical abuse happens, if it happens once, be sure that it will happen again. I have experienced it firsthand. And the first time it happened to me, it caught me by surprise. I was like, okay, what is this? The second time it happened, the trust was broken and I was feeling betrayed, like you had said you wouldn't do it, then you have done it again. And then that time when it happened, that's when I said, okay, I disconnected emotionally. And for me internally, that is when I left. Yeah, I did not leave physically then, but I left emotionally. I left. The fight in me left. I left. So when I'm speaking about it, believe me, I know what you're going through and I understand it completely, and I know the difficulty of it, and it's not easy, and I know so. But we are here to empower each other so that you can know you're not alone, because sometimes this is a conversation I know most people do not open up to speak about it. So everyone is suffering in silence, or you're feeling ashamed to share your story or to say this is where I'm struggling, and the abuser takes that your refusal to speak up or your inability to speak up or the shame that you have, they utilize it. So that's why it keeps on happening. They know you are ashamed, you don't want to speak about it, so they will keep on doing it. So the question is, why are you ashamed? You're not the one doing the bad thing. Obviously, you're feeling like, why did I make a wrong decision? Why did I find myself here? What will people say? You're just worried about, basically you're worried about what people will say and how your life will be if in the event you leave, yeah? But I'm here to tell you that, you do not have to stay in such a situation. It is not a healthy situation. It's not a safe situation. So what are some of the typical things that an abuser will tell you? And allow me to just read them out. Yeah, I've written them down here. So they might say, you provoked me. Or they might say, I was drunk. Or, you shouldn't have said the things you said. I was angry. I did not mean to. I regret doing it. I hate myself for it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Ni kama hata shetani wa ananiingilia nafanya hizi vitu. So you just know you'll keep on hearing those things because they obviously want you to calm down, and then it will happen again. It is a cycle. So they will abuse you, they will apologize, really apologize, get you gifts, flowers, get home on time, call you all the time, send you text messages throughout the day, honeymoon period. Then they will set you up for failure. Then they will abuse you again and say, you caused it. Remember, but they set you up. Yeah, remember. So that is the cycle. If you've been through it, you know it all too well. And this happened to me because I was told, you shouldn't have gone there. You should just have kept quiet. You shouldn't have said what you said. You should just have kept quiet. And I really could not understand. And please, guys, let me just say this. I do not believe that love and abuse can belong in one sentence. Ask yourself, you who is receiving the abuse, does it seem even logical to abuse your partner that you love? And your answer will be no, because it is not. For you, it is not. But for them, ask yourself, why does it seem logical to them? enough for someone to hit you, then you now get to understand where the challenge is. Yeah. So if it has happened, it will happen again. And remember, you cannot argue with an abuser. You cannot reason out with an abuser, because in their mind they feel justified. Amekaa kapiga hesabu kona, surely naweza mchapa. So what are you talking about? You cannot argue it out or reason with them. They feel right to do whatever they do. They feel justified to do it. So then what I must also tell you is, okay, it might also happen that once your abuser realizes that if they hit you again physically, you will leave, they might change tact. So what could happen is they will not beat you up, but now they will change to verbal abuse. So what happens, matusi na arguments zinakuwa tu mingi. So you have to look through and see, is this change or is it a change of tact? Now remember, this is the thing with change. You cannot change for another person. Neither can you make someone change. So for an abuser to change, they have to come to a point of realization that this behavior is harmful for them. It is causing them these negative things in their lives, not in your life. It's not that, oh, I'm physically abusing him or her and now it's hurting them. No, they have to get it. They have to understand it from their perspective, that this is my behavior and it is bad for me in this way. This is where I'm losing, and this is what, this is how it's affecting me. Once they come to that realization, then they have to be in a position where they are willing to work on themselves to see change, consistent change. Remember, change has to be consistent change over a long period of time, because someone could play you. So they change for a month and then they are back at it. They could even change for 3 months and then they are back at it. Now the other thing, in as much as we're saying someone can change, someone might change maybe when they are 60 and you're in your early 30s. Now you have to ask yourself, are you ready and willing to put up with these shenanigans for another 20 years, for another 10 years, for another 5 years, for another 3 years, even for another 1 week or 2 or a month? Are you ready and willing to keep on accepting such treatment? Now that question is for you to answer, it's for you to know, yeah? But I would say you deserve to be in a safe environment, in a happy relationship, yeah? And you need not go get that which is lacking in your relationship externally through friends and charmers and alcohol and all those things. No. Then the third bit about it, if your partner has a narcissistic personality issues, then it's even a bigger problem. Yeah? Because what happens for someone who is narcissistic, they could change, yes, they could change. But remember, if the change is from a 1 to 10, they will not change from 1 to 10. They will change probably 1 to 4. If you're lucky, even 5. If you're lucky, even up to 5. So what you must understand is, you will have to be okay if you are choosing to stay in that situation. You have to be okay with them having changed 50% or 40%. Then you will be okay with living with the shenanigans of between 5 to 10. Now, do you understand what I mean? So is that something you're willing to do for the rest of your life without burdening other people all the time? Because you can decide to stay and then you keep on burdening other people because people are receiving calls, you're in danger. You're calling your friends all the time, you're complaining, this is my situation. People have to come at night to rescue you. You see, now your abuse is now causing turmoil in other people's lives who are not in your relationship. It is unfair. I'm here to remind you that your relationship should be a very safe haven for you. It should be a place of peace, of comfort, of love, of care, of attention. You should not be in a relationship where you're not feeling safe. And if you are, you should ask yourself, why are you willing to tolerate what you're tolerating that is not safe? And usually it's not for the children, it is not. It is our thing. So you have to look internally and resolve those issues yourself. But remember, key thing to remember, usually if domestic violence, physical abuse has happened to you, it will happen again. Unless that individual decides to change for themselves, not for you. And some people will never change. You also have to realize some people will never change. So I'm here all about creating a life you love. And a life you love does not mean kuvumilia vitu yani zinakuumiza. Do not wait for an injury, do not wait for death. Do not wait for your children to be traumatized. Take corrective action now. So I hope I have shared something that will help you resonate and feel that you're not alone, and will give you the confidence to look inwards and look at your relationship and make the right decision. So do not forget to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and also check out the other videos that I have posted. It always is a pleasure, bringing stuff to you, content to you. So cheers until next time.